அதே அடுத்த பகுதி. ஆ? வேலைக்கு ஆ? கருத்து கருத்துல தெரிஞ்சா அப்ப சரி பண்ணலாம். யார் மைக்கான
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning to all of you. Another beautiful day here in Mysuru. Day 6 of our program and the last. So where are we? Yesterday, Professor Mahesh did a very useful presentation of statistics. It is often used in our research studies. And he also showed us how you would run a few tests using the SPSS system. And the point that he was making and that I have made before is that you need to have some knowledge about statistics before you approach SPSS or Stata or any package. What these packages do, and do in a very nice way, is facilitate analysis, that is, running of tests. And these are very complicated, or at least I remember the days before we had machines doing it for us. We had to actually go and find out all the different tests we have to run. And it was a very manual, laborious process. Now, in a program like SPSS, if you want to run the t-test, it'll give you so many options. You want to run t-test for independent means. You want to run t-test for dependent means. You want to do this. You want to do that. All you have to do is click, 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 and it'll take you, you know. And then what kind of tests do you have to run? In an F test he was talking about, and he said, I'm going to select Tukey. And somebody here, I said, why not Bonferroni? Okay, I use neither Tukey nor Bonferroni. I use Sheffy. But he did answer that question, but in a technical way. You know, basically what he was saying was, it really doesn't matter which of these tests you select. They're all okay. Just select one that about which you have heard, read about, select that. All right. So there was so in terms of my observation, and I was also here, sitting here, is that he did a very good job with statistics, but he left a lot of gaps in terms of how to work with SPSS files, as well as some other procedures that we can run on SPSS, especially before data analysis. You know, how to get our variables together, how to put them together, how to test their reliability, and all of that. So hopefully today, in the first half, I will go over some of those issues. And then the second half of today, some of you sent some questions, some feedback about some things that you want me to talk about. I can do that, though I must tell you that it has been a while, 6 years since I retired. And during these 6 years, I have not been doing any quantitative studies. So gathering information, you know, from a period of the last 15 years is difficult for me because all my stuff is back in US. I just came here with a few. I went online to check, and so I'm going to give you an overall broad view, you know, perspective of some of the problems that I ran into, and hopefully that'll be useful. It might be even better if you asked me some pointed questions. That might be more helpful. So we leave it at that, and we will get started. What you see here is a questionnaire on, as you can see, it tells you exactly what it's about obesity, dietary matters, as well as physical exercise. And obviously, this title is missing a very important point. That is, diet questionnaire on all of these matters: obesity, dietary, physical activity. For what? Okay, so the study is really about all of these things, and the study is about media exposure, social media exposure, and their impact on these. Now, you might ask, why didn't you say the whole thing? Again, I don't know at what point. Maybe this is not the final title in the appendix of this doctoral student's dissertation that I guided. When we prepare questionnaires, or at least my experience, we have at least two types of questionnaires. One questionnaire is the one that is going to be used in the data collection. So the interviewers or the respondents will get to see the copy of the questionnaire and they'll fill it out. That's one. Yeah. So this questionnaire has to be prepared for that audience and make it as easy, as accurate for them. But a questionnaire will have many other components. You need to code the questionnaire ahead of time before you collect data. So every response here, now what you see here, I didn't answer my earlier question. when you give that questionnaire to the respondent, you don't want to tell the respondent everything. You do not want to sensitize them. Oh, okay. So they are collecting information on my media habits. Huh? No need. No need. Why? They're not. So give them enough information. All right. And so that they don't start guessing what the study is about. All right. So, but the title should be, the dissertation title will tell you exactly what it is. It's a much short form title. Now, the questionnaire that you are seeing here was not probably, no, I take it back, was the one that was given to the respondents. It was not coded. There's no need to code it when you give it to them because it might confuse them. And I'll show you here what I mean by that. After the questionnaires are completed and come back, then you can, work with your coded questionnaire where there are codes for every answer because it is the numbers, the code, the numerical code that needs to be entered in the SPSS file. Yesterday, professor, he told us that string data, that is non-numeric data, you can't have SPSS play with that. They have to be numbers. So that's why we code the data. I'm going to run through this. I'll let you go through this very quickly, and then we are going to get the SPSS grid and try to enter data for at least one case. Try to enter data with dummy data, and then go over some points that are worthwhile when you're doing data entry. So if you want to go down, we started with socio-demographics. A lot of the times in the olden times, this data was collected at the end. But we prefer to put it right in the beginning, because if your respondent discontinued participation in the middle, then you don't have demographic data because it's at the back. And without demographic data telling me whether that person is a male or a female or educated this much, that much, income this, what am I going to do? So we take the very important stuff that everything is important, but demographic stuff, and put it right in the front. There are advantages and disadvantages to everything. And I don't want to spend too much time, Okay, one of the disadvantages that they used to tell us when we were students is, don't ask all this at the beginning of the questionnaire, put it at the end. Why? Some of them might be considered personal. And so right away, if you start, what is your age? When were you born? People might, hey, who are you? Why are you asking me these kinds of questions? So it's like treat your questionnaire, treat your research process as a conversation with another person. When you meet a person, how do we talk? How do we behave? We first say hello. And in Mysore, they all say, Uta madra. Did you have your food? In the morning, they're going to ask, Kafi aita? Yeah. How are you? Did you have your cup of coffee? Then you want to talk about, I wanted to talk to you about this. So there is a conversation. So when you don't ask personal questions right away, just warm them up with other questions, and then later you can ask. That is but then you have to weigh it against, these days people have no time for anything. And if they discontinue with participation 2/3 of the way into the questionnaire, and your demographic are at the end, you don't have an opportunity to collect it. And Demographic questions are no more that private that people will feel shy. Oh, you want to know my age? I don't want to give you my age. I mean, they carry their driver's license in their wallet. Your age is not a secret now. Earlier, it used to be, don't ask a woman her age. Today, your cell phone and your ID cards, everything will give everything about you. So people are not worried about those kinds of things. Anyway, so we start with this. Please go to the top. First question has no code. And that is because the answer is going to be given as a number. And the number itself is the code. And when we enter data, you'll realize that. These are all interval ratio level data. Next one, second one is not. There's a code. By the way, I entered the code. This person wouldn't have gotten this 1 and 2 at the bottom. Okay. So if that person said male, there'll be a tick mark on male. And when you enter data, you enter 1. So 1, 2, number. Don't enter male, female, because then later you'll have to go back and re-enter 1 and 2. Similarly here, no need for a code. It's a number. And this might involve a few things like go ahead and collect the data. Okay. Later, you can use the compute function or you can use the recode function and recode this information. Instead of feet and inches, we can say convert the whole answer to just inches. Just inches. Okay. So if it is 5 feet 4 inches, then that new variable we are going to compute from this will be 64 inches. So height in inches, 64. Weight in pounds, 120. So none of these need code. But when you come to either nominal data or ordinal data, you need to have codes. So here we have first year, second year, third year, fourth year of undergraduation. The other is you must always have an other or some basket where somebody who doesn't fall into either one of in any one of this can be put there. You cannot have anybody hanging in the air. Every piece of data has to be collected. So if that person says I'm a freshman, first year, when you enter data in the data file, you'll enter it as 1. For some reason, somebody chose other. Maybe that person is not studying for a degree. Maybe that person is a guest student for 1 year. You don't know. Notice 9 there. 9 is a special code. 999. It all depends on how many questionnaires you have. I'm sorry, how many questionnaires you have. Yeah. What's the total sample size you have for your questionnaires? If you have only 99, let's say, total questionnaires is 99, then you use 99 as your missing value ahead of time. If on the other hand, you have 1,000 questionnaires filled out and coming in, then 3 digits, 999. And later on, I can explain to you why. So somebody here, we had, I think, about 200. So we'll get a 99 there. 9 is a special code. Later on, when we create the SPSS file after entering data, we are going to specify that 9 or 99, whatever we have used, is a missing value. Something he did not explain yesterday is, why do we do that? One, of course, is we are not going to let anybody hang there. Everybody has to fall in an appropriate group here. So 9 is, or 99, whatever it is, are responses we don't need. 9 can also be somebody who left a blank, didn't fill out anything, left a blank. That person has to be counted. So all of those things go into a 9-9, and for that variable, that item there, that person's score will be 9-9. We are going to specify in the instructions, when you do the analysis, please treat this as a missing value. What that means is when it runs the analysis, it will take all these 9 scores and purge them, kill them. They won't be used for that particular analysis. The analysis will be only done for 1, 2, 3, and 4. This 9 will be taken out because we don't want them in the analysis. So that tells the package, remove them. You don't have to use 9 as the code for missing values. Sometimes we also use, in addition to 9, we use 8. Towards the higher end, we see 8. And so all you have to do is you have to tell the package what your missing values are for that variable. So if you had 2 missing values here, then you tell that for this particular variable, the missing values are 8, 9. That way it will drop them in the analysis. Same thing here. This is also nominal. The racial category. Please go up. Okay, keep go up. I mean, oh no, sorry. Okay, stop here. So now we are getting into some scales, right? So in this particular study, as you saw from the title, measuring knowledge about obesity. How much do you know about obesity? And here are a bunch of questions, and the person, this is a knowledge item. There is a correct answer and there's an incorrect answer. Only 2. Decided to use, instead of correct, incorrect, for that person, it's more user-friendly to ask, is this true or false? Because it's a conversation I'm having with you. My communication style has to match your communication style. Otherwise, we are not getting a link here. There's too much of disturbance in the transmission. So these are things that we do in a pre-test, because if respondents keep on asking, what do you mean? What do you want? Right? So we come up with that language which works. So in this case, true, false. Third category here, by the way, this is also, I'm combining here also some of my experience with questionnaires and all of that. So it's kind of everything here. There's a third category, don't know. Remember, this is a factual question. Research will tell us that whether that statement is true or false. Okay, so we know that. We have taken it from different publications, other questionnaires, so we know what is true, what is correct, and what is incorrect. But it is being present in true and false. Don't know. A lot of the times, either they're lazy or they really don't know. What do you do with don't know? It becomes a missing value. Okay, because we don't want that here. If you don't know, you don't know. What am I going to do with you? So I have to drop you your answer for that particular variable question. So My codes have disappeared. Okay, I would give 1 as a code for true, 2 for false. So that person will just see 1 and 2, true and false, and the person will just tick, oh, okay, obesity is only about a person's weight. Yeah, that's true. That person will tick true. Obesity increases the risk of getting bowel cancer. Okay, that's true. This person thinks, because we are testing knowledge. True. For example, question number 4 is in the opposite direction, where false is the correct answer and true is the wrong answer. Understand? But at this point, we don't worry. We just ask our questions. Later, we can recode everything to our specifications, because we are going to recode it. I'm not going to do it today, but we are going to, after we collect data, recode, relabel true as correct and give it a code of 1. And false, we are going to label it as incorrect and give it a code of okay, I notice. Sorry, my codes are my codes are at the end. My word processor is very moody today, so decided to push my 1 and 0. So true is 1 and false is 0. So correct is 1, incorrect is 0, right? And so when you do false as correct and true as incorrect, because here false is the correct answer. Obese people can expect to live as long as non-obese people. That is false. All other things being equal, obesity shortens your life, all right? We will recode it. It's very simple for us later. We are just going to recode for this particular variable, the whole file, recode 2 is equal to 1. So it will go and we can recode and create a new recoded variable. So recoded variable 8.4, okay? And there, the correct code will be there. And then what we can do, just go down please a little bit to the end. Okay, number 10. There are 10 statements or knowledge that we selected. Now, I can't remember exactly because there are many ways in which we can deal with this. After recoding all the items, make sure all the items are in the correct direction, okay? Then the first question we need to ask is, I put it under the title knowledge of obesity. I guess they all the items deal with some general awareness, knowledge about obese persons and obesity. Correct. But knowledge is a very big concept, is a very wide concept. Within this knowledge, there could be specific knowledges. I don't know that. For example, this question is knowledge about food. This knowledge is knowledge about body shape. This is knowledge about health issue. This is some general knowledge. So that knowledge scale has different types of knowledge. It is not enough after we are done to take these 10 statements and compute them into a new variable where we add all the scores. So if you tick true for every one of them, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, you'll have total 10 maximum. Maximum score available when you collapse them into 1 on a scale is 10. The minimum value is, what is that? 0. Minimum. So this scale has a range. If you collapsed all the items and put them together into one new variable, knowledge score will go from 0 to 10. Okay. And then we can, on this scale, get descriptives that he was telling us about. The mean, you can treat that now. In fact, on the way back, he gave me a lift yesterday, and we were talking, and I was asking him one specific question because this man is from statistics, so I think he should know the answer. I said, look, many times we, in our social science research, we ask questions where a person is supposed to answer strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree, and we say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we code it. Now, this is ordinal. So every single statement here is ordinal. But when we combine all these into one and create one scale, instead of having 10 items on knowledge, there's another thing about quantitative methods that I completely forgot that differentiates it from qualitative methods. In quantitative methods, we want to give the maximum information in minimum content. That's quantitative, okay? Qualitative people, and I'm not making fun of anybody, I'm just stating that. Qualitative people will take little things and write a lot about it. Yeah, that's important for them. But in quantitative, we take a lot of information and put it into a summary. So instead of having 10 items on knowledge, why don't I combine them and have one item on knowledge? Now I have a scale with a minimum score and a maximum score range on that scale. But then what I have done in the process is I'm treating my scale at the interval ratio level. This is what I asked him. Whereas the original data, before I collapsed them into one, was in ordinal. So what do you think about it? And of course, he didn't have a good answer. But then he said, yeah, it is done. So coming back to the point, once I have that scale, I can do descriptives and ask for the mean. Mean can only be asked when you're dealing with interval ratio. You don't do mean with ordinal data. You can do mean, you can do standard deviation and all those big funda statistics that we do. You know, you can ask all of that and you can get information about description about this, how many people, how much knowledge do they have. The majority of people have high knowledge. You can actually look at the descriptives, or very low knowledge. We can ask for a bar chart, or forget bar chart, one of the curvy charts, and see the shape of the distribution. If a lot of people have low scores, the shape will be, it'll be fat at the bottom of the scale. It'll go up like that. And then trail down as the score goes up on the x-axis. So by just looking at the figure, we can get a quick idea how the data are distributed on that particular variable. In this case, we're talking about scale. But there is an issue here. You can't take any random 10 statements, however accurate they might be. You can't take them and put them into one scale. Not allowed. No. Okay. You can borrow a scale from a published scale. They're available. Research handbooks are available where lots of scales that have been used are published. But those scales come with, what is the reliability of this scale? Is it a good scale or a bad scale? And I told you the other day about Cronbach alpha. Cronbach alpha is a number, much like the Pearson R. It goes from 0 to 1. And we want a Cronbach alpha for a single scale to be at least 0.7 and higher. We reject it if it is less than 0.7. So what I would do, and probably what we did, is since we didn't obtain this from some published work, we do not know what the reliability level of this is. We will test it for ourselves. But before we do the test, we run a procedure called factor analysis. Factor analysis, I will show you the click command, but basically what it does, the statistics behind that is, think of a sticky wall. So if you throw something, it'll stick. A little rubber ball, it'll stick. So think of a big sticky wall, okay? And each of these as one little rubber pellet. Think of, instead of 10, think of 100. So I throw it on the wall. And when I throw it on the wall, I find that these rubber pellets are not randomly sticking on the wall. They are forming patterns, cluster. Like I find, for example, I don't know, 6, 9, and 10 are in the same region, whereas 1, 5 are in another place. So the factor analysis will show you in factor space how these variables are clustering together in bunches. So factor analysis is also called as cluster analysis. So if I throw these 10 into a factor analysis, it might come up with a result where I have 3 clusters. I find that 10, like example, 10, 7, 3, and 2 are clustering together. Another 4 are clustering together. And the remaining 2 are clustering together. So I have 3 clusters. I know the third one is useless because you need to have a minimum of 3. Okay? Actually, 10 is a very small number. You need much higher number, but 10 is good enough. Then factor analysis will also tell me in the same output, for these 4 variables that are clustering together, it's telling you, this is what I found. But in terms of statistics, what it means is that there is some commonality between these 4 questions. In the information that is, there's some unity. That's why they're clustering together. And so one of the most exciting things that I was introduced to factor analysis by my committee member way back, many decades ago. So take the output home. Tonight, have your dinner, relax, then look at it. Why are these 4 items clustering together? Now you, the human being behind the AI, you have to look, and you are the best because it's your research. You spend a lot of time thinking, doing, you know quite a bit, right? So yes. So why is item 3, 6, 9, and 10 going together? You read the question number 3, you read question number 10, and aha, that's what that is. So this is knowledge about body shape. So questions relating to body shape were all clustering together. So now it is called name the baby. Give a name to that baby. So that baby is knowledge of body shape. Under obesity, knowledge. And factor analysis will also tell you each of those 4 variables that are loading in that cluster, what is the strength of the loading? Obviously, you want the loading to be 100%, which you are not going to get, but that is your goal. So, you know, it prints a value called eigenvalue. Eigenvalue. And again, eigenvalue, we look for a cutoff point. And if the eigenvalue is equal to or greater than that, then we are satisfied that these four items are correlating together. And so we give it a name. We give it a name. And then we take those four variables, add them together, compute a new variable, and the new variable will be titled obesity knowledge of body shape. Okay. See how we came to, and we are going to run one more analysis. We are going to run a reliability analysis for that scale. And we are looking for a Cronbach alpha score of at least 0.7 or higher. So these are the general methods that are used in any quantitative study. You can create your own scale, but you have to run all these kinds of tests and show it. Or you can take scales from published work. Many times published works may not have exact scales for you. It's like you going and getting a shirt. You know, you have to go and get a ready-made shirt from a store. Now, ready-made shirts are ready-made shirts. It's made for a certain size. For some people who are too tall, too thin, you know, they have problem getting pants and shirts, right? So you go to a tailor. And the tailor takes measurement of your body and stitches a pant or a shirt for you. So basically, what we do is the same thing. If we cannot find a published scale, we will go check out research items on that particular thing that we're interested in. We'll come up with questions, we'll pre-test them, and go through this process. Can you go down, please? Now, notice from starting 9 is knowledge of obesity-related dietary matters. And all the questions there, a lot of them are nominal. Okay. What is saturated fat? What is a low-fat lunch? And notice I have coded 1 and 2. 1 is incorrect. 2 is correct. So somebody marks peanut butter sandwich as a low-fat, that is correct. This is the best answer. Low-fat yogurt with fruit, carrot sticks, homemade banana nut bread, non-fat milk. That's a correct, best answer. But this answer also is good enough. These two are wrong. A bologna sandwich, potato chips. As soon as you see potato chips, it's not non-fat anymore. Okay. Those of you who love McDonald's and other places, one small serving of French fries is 350 calories. Please keep that in mind. And as an adult male, you don't need more than 2,000 to 2,200 calories in a day. For female, it's less, from 1,800 to 2,000. So if just a small fry is 350 calories, you can imagine potato chips are very high. Anything fried for that matter. This is also a wrong answer. I'm sorry, which is the wrong? Yeah, that's a wrong answer. I also have a don't know. The don't know is getting a code of wrong answer. Now, of course, we can sit and argue till all the cows come home of the philosophical difference between I don't know and incorrect. Yeah. But for my study, I feel comfortable that somebody who says I don't know should be equated with incorrect, doesn't know. And I'm not going to throw this person off, because if you start doing missing values, then you will start losing data, because missing values is thrown out during analysis. And I don't want to lose my data. So I feel comfortable that this is good enough as a wrong answer. Okay. Yeah, go down, please. So all of this, again, I will say the same thing. We can create scales. And go about the same way. Depending on questions, you can also create an index. Index is a list where you go in a hierarchy from high to low or low to high, you know, that. So there are many ways in which you can combine, but definitely we are not going to be using 10 items here to measure knowledge of dietary matters. We are going to collapse it. Let's go up. Knowledge of physical activity. All of these deal with, you know, things you should be doing, or rather not doing, knowledge about activities, okay? This is a general issue. Yeah, keep going down. See here, there's a note that says this particular scale was obtained from. This won't be given to the person during collection of data, okay? This is for our benefit. And then we go down to other matters, perceived vulnerability to obesity. One of the biggest issues we all face with any kind of addiction is the denial. People will always, oh, no, I don't do that. I only do this. You know, there's always a denial. So this looks into, what do you think about yourself? Are you vulnerable? And so this is a psychological scale. Yeah, go down. And then social support is a sociological scale. If research says that if you have more social support from your family, from your friends and others around you, you will continue with that activity, as opposed to if there is opposition or lack of support. So this is measuring social support, support from friends, go down, support from family, and then we go on to, no, go up here, 13. Now we are looking at another type of social support in terms of how often people around you tell you, support you, discourage you, okay? Okay, keep going down. From family. No. They exercise with me. They offered exercise to exercise with me. They discussed exercise with me. They gave me encouragement. It's all very important. My son, he's a fitness freak. He's part of this movement in US called CrossFit. I'm sure you've seen it on TV. CrossFit is a program available all over United States, where you don't just lift weights, but you do things so that every muscle in your body that you use gets exercised. You will pull rope. You will climb a 6-foot wall. Okay, you will do all kinds of things. Of course, you will also lift weights, but the whole idea is not to build just your muscles here. The CrossFit is to exercise every part of your body. All right. And he exercises with me because he comes and tells me, Dad, you don't understand. Why do old people fall? Okay. Why is it? You know, then he will go. I actually know everything. But if I say I know, then he will bore me for 2 hours. So the best is to tell him I don't know. So that way he'll give us, and please give me only a summary version. They fall because their quadriceps, now we get into technical information. All these muscles have all names. Your quadriceps and this and that is weak. Oh, Kapil, don't worry about it. I'm a jogger. I jog. Dad, that's exactly where you're wrong. Jogging is great. Keep doing it. But it does not provide enough resistance to this muscle. Most important. So I want to show you exercises. No machine, no nothing. And this is how you have to do. Oh, Kapil, I have problem. I don't, I've been lucky. My warranty on my knees is still there after 45 years. And at least for the next 5-10 years, if the warranty is there, I'll be happy. Dad, who told you that by doing sit-ups, you're hurting there's a way to do sit-ups. And he'll show me sit-ups where only this part is exercised. Okay. And no strain on the knees. Now, with that kind of social support, you think I'm not going to do that? So exercise with me. I will show you, and keeps calling me every once in a while. How is it going? That kind of support is fantastic. Not so much for me, but for his mother, who doesn't have as much discipline as me in physical activity. Some days she will do, some days she won't do. I'm not like that. I cannot have my cup of coffee in the morning unless I have done that. So now it's my second nature. I can't help it. It's me. So social support from family. Go down. Okay, then social norm. The society in which you live. What is the social norm? I often see others jogging in my neighborhood. I often see others exercising, walking, bicycling, playing sports in my neighborhood. Lots of people I know jog and cycle. So here we are getting knowledge about what kind of social norms are around you. All right. Go up. Go down, I mean. It'll go on like this. These are all psychological skills. Self-efficacy. Some people have high self-efficacy. If they pick up something, they will know everything about it. They will do it. And that is high. There are some people with low self-efficacy. Oh, I don't know how to do. I think I'll have to go and take tuition in this. My sister, 20 years ago, internet. Okay. I think I will I'll have somebody come and tutor me. As soon as she said it, I know. Low self-efficacy. My sister is never going to know much about internet. 20 years have passed, and even today she says, I don't know about all that, yaar. Low self-efficacy. You don't need to go and have somebody come and tutor you for a week on internet. You can, if you really feel like, if you feel I can do it, you can pick it up, right? So self-efficacy. And go down. So on, and it keep going down. And then actual physical activity, actual dietary behavior. Anyway, this is the questionnaire that is with you. Please look at it. And now what I want to do is I want to, rather than importing it from Excel or anything, just show you the old-fashioned method. And we will just code a few of these variables just to give you an idea. And so, can you move this? Oh, can you be here? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I have that same questionnaire here, and I'm going to code a few here for you with some dummy data, and then show you after that how to play with it when you have all the data entered in your file. Are you ready? Okay. Column 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. The name? V. In small case, V.
variable means we have to write the name.
No, data. I want to enter data.
Data without labeling.
Yes, I'm giving it now. Just write V01. No, 001.
Your name in the name.
Yes, just enter it. V001. Yeah, you don't even need capital, but that's okay. No gap anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Variable 1. Okay. Now, I'm entering the data from this questionnaire I showed you. And what you see is the SPSS grid. And the very first column, I'm starting with variable 1. And the name of that variable, a lot of people give string names. I give quantitative names. So next one will be V002, V003. It doesn't matter what you give here. You just have to give a unique name to the computer. That's all it wants, name. And it doesn't care what it is. This works best later on rather than, actually, you know what this is? This is something that is not even in the questionnaire. Once we get our questionnaires, on the top right-hand corner of the first questionnaire, we are going to enter serial number of the questionnaire. And we have 500 questionnaires. So the first questionnaire we are going to enter as 001. The next questionnaire will be 002. Okay? Because later on, if we find some issues, some errors, we want to go back to the original data file, which is your filled out questionnaire. And if you don't enter this, then later on you won't know. So we enter that. In some other surveys, the second variable would be name of interviewer. And here we can use string variables, Sunita, Gopal. Because sometimes in big studies, you also want to know who collected this data, So like that, all of these are first entered in the first few columns. Now we had only questionnaire number. First question will be the next. Please indicate the last 2 digits of your birth year. Okay. And this person answered 83. Can you enter 83?
Second.
Second variable.
Here we have this nominal, ordinal, and this
you can just leave that. Leave that for now. Variable 2, V2. And this is numeric. It's numeric because we're entering 82. Keep going here. No, first the first one, label, the first one. Yeah, click on it. What's the label? Label is a name that you give so that you will identify it. So V001 is questionnaire number. No. Go back to data file. Just say questionnaire number.
What?
No, just type questionnaire number.
Oh.
Question number.
No, questionnaire number. The whole questionnaire. QQ. Make it QQ. Yeah, I entered QQ number. It is questionnaire number. So variable 001 is questionnaire number. All right, keep going to the right. Values, none. Because whatever value you enter will come there. It's a number. So leave that alone. There's no missing. That's fine. And this is, it doesn't matter. Just now let's go to variable 2. And what is the label? Dr. Mahesh said 2 ways you can do that. One is you can actually type the entire question into this. No. Label. Yeah, correct. So you can actually say, don't. Indicate the last 2 digits of your birth year. But you don't need to. I'm just going to put birth year. Birth year. That's the thing. Then going on, values, birth year, we're not going to specify values. Whatever we get, that's good enough. And keep going to missing. Then will we have any missing values here? Birth year. No, at this point, we can't think of any missing values. So we'll just let it go. And what is that? The number? The measure is this one. Scale. Okay, the next question is, what is your biological sex? And the answer is male, female. We decided to give 1 for male, 2 for female. So V003. And then under label, sex, biological sex.
What we have? 1, 2.
Biological sex, you got that?
Yeah.
Values, go to values now. Now, this is a nominal variable, so 1 and 2 doesn't make any sense. In the earlier question, 82 made sense. What year were you born? 82. But now 1 and 2 don't make any sense. So we go to the values and click on that, value labels. Now we say 1, male. Add. Go back, add. 2, female. Add. Okay. So we have add, 1 is what, 2 is what, and you can double check by clicking on that little box here under values. Yeah. See, it says here, 1 is male, 2 is female. Okay, go back now. Next one, what else? Missing, there's no missing. This is not a scale, it's nominal. Okay, V004. What is your height? Just say height in inches. No, I'm sorry. Just put height. H-E-I-G-H-T. H-E-I. Just height. So that's height. Later on, we have to still convert it to inches because we are not going to get the answer in inches here. Height. And then missing no and that is a scale. So you get a drift of how this is going. All right. Now I want to move on to some of the other questions and how I would be entering the data. Okay, I'm going to skip a few questions and I'm going to go straight to question 8.1. Obesity is only about a person's weight, and then true, false, don't know. So go ahead, go back to the file. Okay, make it 00, not 00. No. That is not 0.
00.
V004. V004. Okay. So I skipped a few and I came right here. Obesity is only about a person's weight. The scores that are legal here is 1 and 0. Those are the only ones. So let's give 1 for this. This person ticked true. That's 1. So let's go ahead and okay, come down here. What are the labels? 004. No, we are still with 00. No. Oh, is it 005?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the label here? You may as well type the whole sentence. Obesity is about, just do this once. Once we'll type the whole question out because we need to know what variable 005 is. Obesity is only weight. Just put is only. Okay. That is the one. Go to values, labels, values. Okay. Here you get, here we, yeah, true. The person will get either 1 or 0, right? And so put 1 and label, go back. Label true.
Yeah, I'm talking from the
Oh, okay. You can do that too.
first.
True, add, and 0, number 0,
Number 0.
false. So we have entered the label, what is 1, what is 0. But people are going to be answering either 1 or 0. If we were to have a missing value, somebody did not fill or did not enter that. There are many reasons why you could have missing value. Then we need to know 9, label missing, add. Okay, okay. Say okay. No, you added. Let's go back. Let's just check what it is. We don't want, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. It's my fault. So we have 1, 0, and we have 9. But we have not told SPSS to consider 9 as a missing value, because at this point, it thinks 9 is a legitimate value. So we have to also specify, please drop 9. We are not going to use it in analysis. And so go to the next column that says missing. Yeah, go to the next column that is missing here. Click on it. No, click on that. Yeah. No. Instead, there is a missing value, discrete missing value. And put 9 there. 9. And then okay it. Now it knows that 9 should be treated as a missing value for that particular variable. That's how you do that. What is this? This is yeah, just keep it at scale. Keep it at scale. So that is how I would enter all the items in that. I'll do one more, and then we'll go and look at a data file. So this is how data is entered. You have to specify the variable name. Don't miss any variable. You have to give it a name. That variable name is for the computer. For you, it's label. It's called variable label. That's very important. And then value. Anytime you use ordinal or nominal answers, you have to say what 1 is, what 2 is, what 3 is. So under label values, you specify what values you're taking and what label. What does 1 mean? 1 means true. 2 means something else. And if you have missing values, you also enter at that point and label it as missing. And then go back and specify 99 as a missing value. Okay. Now I want to introduce, okay. No, that'll be too complex here. I want to do one more from another scale, and then just to show you. Okay, here we go. So variable, what's the next variable? 6. V006. This is question number 13.1 in the questionnaire. They exercised with me, and there are 5 answers allowed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is never, seldom, sometimes, often, and very often. These are the 5 legal answers. And so you will have a number that you need to enter. Let's suppose this person said sometimes, and sometimes is number 3. So you enter 3 for this person.
That's just a label.
Yeah, later. Yeah, you can add it to when you do the label.
Yes. The new value.
Oh, where did you get this from?
This is here.
They offered to exercise with me. That is the label.
What's the question? 13.
They exercised with me. Yeah, is that what it is?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never.
So go back to the data, enter 3. That person answered
This value number,
3.
answer, never.
No, no, no.
So value,
No, you're going, you just go back. Just go one column at a time. So variable 6, where is it?
here, this we are entering, sir.
And what was the person's score? With the data file, you should go to the data file.
This,
No, where do I enter 3? The data for this person.
here, sir. Enter that.
Yes,
Yeah,
go to
here.
data file.
Yeah.
But what are we doing now? But we have to enter data also, no?
Yeah,
Okay.
here we have to, after that, we have to enter the data, sir.
Ah.
Once just finish the questionnaire, means the coding or everything. Then we.
Oh, okay.
That's.
Okay, all right.
first
Okay,
is
so we are creating the SPSS file, and then all the data will come according to. Basically, we are taking our code book, we are taking a questionnaire and putting it in the SPSS. So that everything is thing, and then we just enter data. So what, go back to where you were.
Yeah, so we are variable.
Label, they reminded me of whatever. And then values are, go ahead. 1, never. Add. 2, seldom. Oh, it says few times here. Seldom. Yeah. Just enter all the 5. So it's the same thing. What are the legal values you're going to get is from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. But then somebody may not enter it correctly. Somebody may make 2 answers in that. Mark 2. And you decide not to use it. Then how do you handle it? Somebody doesn't answer that at all. Then how do you handle it? Missing value. So 9 is another one.
Yes.
After 5, 9.
9.
After 5.
Oh, missing value.
No, just missing. Just missing. No value. Okay.
Add.
Add.
Okay.
So what do you have there now? Yeah. So we have entered label for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. And now under missing column, we are going to say that 9 is the missing value for this.
9.
Yeah. So this is how you will enter all of the information, the entire questionnaire, and then you would go to your, just show the grid file, data file. So this data file will, when you start entering numbers, it'll start filling up. And all the data for variable 1 will be in that column 1. All the data for 2 will be in that column 2. Okay, so like that. And that this is an expandable file. So as you move to the right, it'll keep, so you enter the entire data, and then of course you save it. Now you have to spend some time cleaning the data. Very important. There could have been some errors when you entered the data from the questionnaire to the file. So you need to clean it up. And basically what I do is I take each one of the variables. The very first thing I do is I run a descriptives on every variable. Variable 1, give me frequency distribution, the whole thing. Variable 2, frequency distribution. Variable 3, so I ask for frequency distribution of every variable. And then I take it, put it in front of me, and I study that. For example, variable 2 was, what was that? Was that the very first question? Yeah. Please indicate last 2 digits of your birth year. Okay. And everybody says, one person says 70, another person says 82, another person says 92. Okay. But usually, since these are all college students, it'll be in a narrow bandwidth. Okay, they'll be about anywhere from 19 to about 22, 23. Some outliers will be there, but So if this study was done in 2016, you know, they'll all be in the upper 90s. There's going to be a problem with this. We're done with data collection, but we need to do some cleaning. So I look at the frequencies, all right? And lot of people born in 92, 92, 92, 93, 92, 91, because that's the college going age, okay? Then suddenly there's somebody, you know, 79. And what year are we in now? 2017. So that's 21 plus 17. This person is 38 years old. Maybe. Late bloomer. Decided to do at the age of 38. That's okay. Though, if there's another one who says 52, this person was born in 1952. This person is a senior citizen. Well, there are some senior citizens who would like to get an education. Why not? But probably there is a problem here, right? I flag it. Then what do? I go to questionnaire number 1, the very first column, and open the Almara, open the thing and pull the questionnaire out. Paper days. These days, of course, everything is online. And then I find that person was not born in 52. That person was born in 92. When entering the data, they have made an error. Solved, right? So this is one kind. Improbable data. Implausible. Possible, but highly unlikely. Implausible. Improbable. Incorrect. Okay? So this data is definitely incorrect. You find that, then you know, you check for all these things. You go manually. You make all these corrections. Make sure everything is correct. And then save it. This is your corrected, saved SPSS data file ready for analysis. I know it takes much faster for me to say it. This takes some time and sometimes some work, because some things can really hold you up. And then after you've created your SPSS file and corrected it, you have to do a few more things before you're ready for analysis. For example, this asked, what is your birth year? I'm not interested in the birth year. I'm interested in your age. Still, some people feel bad if you ask them, how old are you? But instead, if you just ask them a technical question, which year were you born? They don't think about it. Yeah, I was born. And from that, you can calculate the birth. So I will create a new variable from this. You know, I will compute a new variable. I'll give it a name. Okay, V500. Okay, the label for that is recoded birth. I'm sorry, age in years. That's one. And what am I going to do? How am I going to compute this variable? I'm going to take this variable and add 1,900 to it. Okay. These days you can't do that because kids are born in 2000. Okay. But I'm talking of studies. No, add one. So I'm sorry, don't add 1900. I say compute new variable. Variable 5 minus. No, actually I have to do it 2 times. I have to add 1900, and then I have to, from that I have to get the age, subtract it, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. I want to get the birth year. So I can make SPSS do all that math. So it will convert the birth year into age after I have created a new variable. So those things have to be done, all right? Besides other things that need to be done for your data analysis, like looking at the scales, running factor analysis, running reliability analysis, and all of that. When you've done all these things, Now you're ready to run your t-test. If you require a t-test or a f-test or a Pearson R or a chi-square. So, how are we doing? We have to take a break. No? Yeah.
Can you finish over and then coding this after that? Enter the data.
You just enter 001.
Yeah. Click here.
01, 001. And this variable, it depends on what the answer was. 1. Next one, what's your height in inches? And just write 64. Okay. Next one is we went to something else. Just write a 1. And so then, if you go back to your variable file, it'll tell you what they are. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how you enter data from your questionnaire onto your. So there are 2 tabs at the bottom: data view and variable view. Data view is data. Variable view is everything about the data, the name, everything, you know. And basically, in the old days, we used to print a code book. So your variable view is actually a code book. It tells you all about that. So that is basically how, you know, we enter the data. And now one point I want to make, and then we can break for 10 minutes and get back. He used the term parametric statistics and non-parametric statistics many times. I just wanted to give you a more user-friendly way of doing that. Anytime you do any sample study, there is a population and there is your sample. When you do probability samples, the reason you do take a probability sample is to collect data from your sample and then generalize the data to your population. That's the only reason you do that. And you have to have a probability sample because this process of generalizing, simulating it from your single study to the whole studies done all the time, hundreds of times, everywhere, you know, population on, I'm sorry, not everywhere, on everybody, that's the population. So for example, take a simple example. I collect information in a college student survey about age. Okay. And then I will get that information. And from the information, I will find out the mean. What is the mean age for undergraduate students? And it will tell you, in my 300 sample, the mean age is 22. That is the, you know, the most typical value, average value, in another word, 22. Now, is 22, how similar is this 22 that I got from my sample to the value that might exist population? Now you can imagine what that population is. That population is all the college students in the entire country. I mean, theoretically, I'm at the theoretical level. That is your population. So what would that number be? Would it be 22? Would it be 21? Would it be 20? Would it be 26? I don't know. None of us can know because the population is very, very big. So we select a probability sample. And so now when you run your hypothesis test on your 22, basically what you're trying to say is this 22? How close is this 22 to that value that exists in the population? All right. Now, the value for your age in your sample is called sample statistic. These are all important names. Any value that you get from your sample is called a statistic. So if you get mean from your sample, it is your sample statistic for mean, sample statistic for something else. Okay? The similar thing in the population has a different name. It's called parameter. Population parameter. So any statistics that takes your sample value and compares it to some population value is parametric statistics. Okay? You can only do it with probability samples. All right? That's how parametric. There are other meanings, and I don't want to get into all of them, but they're a good one. Okay? When you do non-parametric statistics, you are not generalizing from your sample to any population. You're doing a case study, and you selected a non-probability sample. Now, all you can do is study the sample results and tell us what you found. So in my study, I found this, I found that, I found this, I found an association between gender and higher education. I found that the female gender was associated strongly more than males in terms of getting higher education. That is a fact in US. There are way more females in postgraduate courses than males. But since it's a nominal variable, I can only say association or lack of it. Can I run some statistics? Sure. You go to your SPSS, you click on non-parametric, all the guesswork is taken off, like some of us had to do before. It'll tell you what are the statistics available. Where is one of them? And then there are many others. Okay. Then you just put a tick mark on the box for chi-square, it'll give you chi-square. But of course, you need to know what a chi-square is, what information chi-square is giving, and so and all that you get from a methodology / statistics class. Okay, so that is non-parametric is also used when your sample size is very small. You know, you're dealing with just 20. Parametric statistics do not work well with small numbers. Okay. In fact, there is a rule of thumb that says anytime you want to compare two groups, the best scenario is to have at least 100 cases of data in each group, minimum. You can do up to 50, but higher the number of the category that the non-parametric can't deal with 20 and all of that. It can in some t-tests and all that, but non-parametric work. But the basic distinction is, did you use a probability sample or not? Are you generalizing to a population or not? Okay. Since non-parametric most of the time deals with qualitative variables, you can only talk of related and not related. Whereas with interval ratio level data, you can say how much, in what direction, by what quantity. Okay. All right, let's take a break. Okay, we are done with this. Okay, let's get started. And what I have here is my CV for a purpose. I'm having that here because some of the questions I was asked yesterday is to talk about some of my own some of my own work. It's been some time, so I have to. So yeah, what are you doing? That one?
Scrolling.
Okay. Let's go down. Yeah. So oh, this doesn't work. Yeah. Not able to. Okay. Okay. This is a marked up file. Anyway, all the information is there though. One thing I want to point out is once you're done with a study, it's very important that you get it out. Normally, what I advise people is get it out into a conference somewhere and see how it goes. This is a paper that you would have prepared as a part of your project or some classwork, whatever. So you want to take it next and put it in a submit it to a conference. That is the next step. And in the conference, you will get more feedback. They are going to review. Somebody is going to review, give a blind review and tell you things about your paper might get accepted or not accepted. They'll give you reasons. So that's the next step. You need to go and so here, if you look at some of the studies that are done, I just wanted to show very quickly here. So take this, these are all the doctoral dissertation. I'm sorry for all the markup here. It's showing me the edit mode. And this one by Shrinkala, Detection of Eating Disorders Among Young Women, Implications for Development Communication. And then there is Fang Wong, predicting, that's the questionnaire I showed you earlier on predicting healthy eating behavior, examination of attitude, subjective norms, and perceived behavioral control factors. Okay, so they did this. So what did they do next besides getting a PhD? I'm sure they would have presented it after making necessary changes. Usually the big challenge you have is from a dissertation or from a project, if you have to present it to a conference, you have to reduce the length because conferences want abstracts in so many words. The paper itself not to exceed so many words. And so a lot of the stuff that are in your project report or in your dissertation may need to be cut and you have to pull out what's important. So that editing is going to go on and then you will present it to a conference. And let me see if Shrinkala and Fang, what they have done here. I'm looking at all the conference papers in my Vita. Oh, this is going very slow. Okay, there we are. Here you go. Upadhyaya S and S. Melkote. S, that is Shrinkala Upadhyaya. When I work on as a direct supervisor, I make some negotiations with the student ahead of time. I will be your advisor. I will be available to you most hours of the day, not 24/7, but most hours of the day. And you can call me and I will give you everything I have. And when you're done, it's your dissertation, not mine. Okay? It's your dissertation. But if you want to publish it, then here are some guidelines I want you to consider. I'm going to help you craft a paper out of your dissertation with you. I'm going to work with you, and I'm going to help you do that. Okay? You are going to be the first author. I will be the second author. Is this okay with you? Okay, this is okay with you. Okay. So you get all the glory. It's your paper, you're the first author. So when they count the number of publications for you here and there, you'll go as first author. So here it is. She presented this at IAMCR conference in 2018. Very hard to move here. I don't see anything from Fang Wong, but I do see from another doctoral student. I just saw it now, Yagnik, yeah. Arpan Yagnik and Esmail Kote. Again, this came out of the work he did for his doctoral dissertation. Then after that, the next stage would be, if you want to follow, as a submission to a refereed or non-refereed to a journal. That would be the next step. That's the right way to go. And so let's look at some let's look at some journal articles and see what's happening here. These are chapters. Chapters are another way. Sometimes they publish chapters in books. At other times, you might send it to a journal. And so I'm looking at the journal articles here. All of these are book chapters. Come on, come on. Here you go, refereed articles. So these are all articles that were published in refereed journals. Go down this list here. Oh, this Yagnik is here. Yagnik presented in the Indian Journal of Social Work. Yagnik also presented, he presented, yeah, the same thing here. He also in Journal of Communication and Media Research. All right. Like that. Now let's look on the chapters. Sometimes you may get an offer that somebody is publishing an edited book and they would like to include your work as a chapter. I know that Shrinkala did publish in quite a few journals, but it's not showing up here in this list here. Okay, these are all book chapters. Yeah, this file that I selected is not updated, and so I don't have a lot of data here, but I do know that Shrinkala published 2 journal articles, and so that is the way to go. You get conference papers, then on to chapters or journal articles. The nice thing about that is you collect a lot of, you exploit your study, and you get a lot of these things because they would like to see how many publications you have. They would like to see how many, you can't go backwards. You can't publish in a scholarly journal and then present the same thing as a paper in a conference. Usually conference papers are original and not being published. So that's the path to go. And the last is book. And so book. So a lot of young men and women, they want to publish their doctoral dissertations into a book. There are some disadvantages with that. You don't do that. Of course, social context matters. You were working in India, and so I don't have much knowledge about what the norms are in India. But when you publish your doctoral dissertation into a book, you cannot republish it as a scholarly article. You cannot go backwards, because they will say, you have to give a statement that this has not been published before. You have to say that and agree to that. And if you already published a book, you can't go backwards. You end up with one book. Instead, you can get 2 papers out of that, 2 articles out of that, and who knows, at some point you can even publish it as a book. And and I'm going to end with this, there is another norm in the United States. Young people starting their careers out, you don't need to write books. Wait your time. Your time will come. I promise you, your time, that's what my seniors told me. Your time will come. Now you have to do the hard work. You have to establish yourself as a scholar in a certain field. Okay? And after about 15, 20 years, you will yourself, start getting opportunities. And definitely after 20, 25 years, you'll get a lot of opportunities for you to write a book. And probably that's the right time for you to write a book, because you have much more experience, But whatever I said, please take it with a pinch of salt, because norms have changed from my days. Today, people do all kinds of things. They publish books, they do this, they do that, and things are different now. But that's how I followed. Okay, so coming back here, what are some things that, in general I can talk about is in any research study, the selection of the topic is always a big deal, selection of the topic. It doesn't come to you immediately. You know of the area, but the specific topic, there are many considerations in terms of time, in terms of cost, expense, in terms of skill level of not just yourself, but your advisor too. Okay. All of these things, are important, but topic is always hard. It's always hard. I think I gave you the example of Dr. Arvind Singhal. He was not able to get his topic for almost 2 to 2.5 months. And, it's only in late October he got a topic. Okay. I have one rule that I impose on all people who work with me. I'm going to help you with the area. We can sit and have long discussions about this is that, this is okay. But at the end of the day, you have to select the topic. I'm not going to help you select the topic. That topic, because it is your baby. You're the one who's going to run with it, not me. So you must have a burning need, desire to work. So I never help with the topic. And of course, they don't. I say, okay, that's a good topic. And if they come with a topic, I critique it in terms of this, in terms of that, and they go back, they hone it, and then they come. Now it is your topic, because you have to look in development communication. Also, I talk about this. No, you have to own the problem. Only when you own the problem will you really try to find solutions to the problem. So the ownership of that is there. So you got to have ownership. Okay. So you need to own your topic. And so doctoral dissertations come out of theory. So you need to do a very careful review of literature. Not just books. Books are dated. Journal articles, the top journal article, they're not as dated as books because they come out, and you have to do a very good job of that to come up with a researchable topic. And that can always be a problem. Master's thesis is not necessary that it must come from a theory. It can also come from practical areas. Arvind Singhal's was a practical area, and another student did content analysis of the downing of the Korean airlines and the, Iranian airlines, and see how they're going to be considered. That didn't come from theory. It just came from the environment. So that is very, very important. And that has always been a challenge. And students take many months. Then there are some people who already come in with a very fairly clear idea. Those people are always ahead of the game. But then everybody doesn't come in having done a lot of work. Dr. Pradeep Krishnatre, who came to Bowling Green State University in 1993 to work under me, was my senior in college. Then he was my colleague when I taught at Osmania University. Okay? And then he was my student. And he is same age as me. So Dr. Pradeep Krishnatre came, and now I'm losing my train of thought why I'm using him as an example. Pradeep Krishnatre came to do his PhD after putting in 25 years of being senior professor in Bhopal, being a professor somewhere else in India, and he had done a lot of work. He was not a newbie. So he came exactly. He was interested in leprosy destigmatization, how communication campaigns should be structured to destigmatize leprosy. And he just jumped at it, and he finished his PhD in 2.5 years. Because he didn't take time for all these things, right? So it can be a challenge. Work with your advisor, but at the end of the day, don't take a topic from somebody else, unless, of course, you're working in a project and you have to take a topic. Sampling is another issue that can always be a thing. Now, we talked a little bit about parametric and non-parametric. Most of the time, postgraduate students, they want publications. Not most of the time, all the time. They want publications. They want public journals have a preference, big journals, for probability sample theory studies, where you test hypothesis and you relate to a population parameter. That's what they're looking for. Whether it is a simple random sample, a systematic sample, a multi-stage cluster sample, whatever it is, requires you to have knowledge of the population. And many times it's easy in theory books to read about it, but when you actually try to go and do it, then you get stumped, So you will notice that in many of my doctoral studies, again, doctoral students or master students too, are on a tight timeline. They're not going to be hanging out for a long time. Their fellowship will only last 3 years or only last 4 years. They have to get out, So you have to do and, fast and get out. And so that is another important criterion. So given all of these things, and given the fact that you want a probability sample, it requires work, and sometimes it can be frustrating. A few years ago, like even 10, 15 years ago, when things were not computerized as much as they are today, it was more difficult to come up with a population because it was very laborious. And most of the time, that kind of data was not available. Going back to my earlier point, students want to finish quickly, and so it must be easy for them to come up with a good idea of the population. So in the good old days, we didn't have those. It would take a long time to create a sampling frame, otherwise known as population. A lot of the students, for the same reason that they want to get out fast, they choose, and I encourage them, all I'm interested in is a good study with an appropriate sample for that particular topic. That's all I'm interested in. So if they can find a population within the university, I encourage them, and not outside the university, because things get very time consuming if you go outside the university. And so a lot of the topics, if you notice, Shrinkalas was a study on body shaming and those kinds of issues, but located among college men and women. And that's okay, because they are the ones who have that problem. And so we confined ourselves to university. Now, in the case of Fang Wong, obesity is everywhere. Obesity is also among college students. And so it was okay. So like that, make sure. And if a college population, university population will work for them, then that is first battle that you have won. In the old days, it was not computerized, and you didn't have, it was more difficult to get information about every student at the university or college, if it's a big college. These days, many of those problems are gone because every student has an ID. And that ID is very simple. It's either in a tag that they put on their neck, or it is in an ID card in their pocket, a student ID card. And each student gets a unique ID number. No two students will get the same ID number. And we found that it is far easier for us to contact somebody in the university campus and get a download of all ID numbers. You know, sometimes they won't even give you that, but many times, you know, they will give you the ID numbers because they won't give you the address. They won't give you phone numbers, but they'll give you the ID number. So now, in many of these studies, we have considered the ID numbers of the entire university as the population, right? That makes things far easier. And from those ID numbers, we will obtain a probability sample. I've done that for the more recent ones. Dr. Pradeep Krishnasri did an experiment, so sampling was not an issue there. Dr. Arpan Yagnik did his study in Ahmedabad, and he paid and made use of survey agencies in the city of Ahmedabad who provided him with all of this information, which I looked over and made sure that it was okay. And so this is one of the studies that was done outside the university, and they provided then with all that data, and we constructed a sample out of that. The most recent one I directed was Dr. Alauddin Muhammad, and he was doing content analysis of government documents between Norway and Bangladesh. and looking at issues of hegemony and all of those things. It was a kind of a very complex study. It was a content analysis. And it was a content analysis that was going to be done by a machine completely. No humans were involved in that because policy documents were. And so there are today special programs machines will do. Earlier, the limitation was the machine can only look at keywords and count. So there's a sentence, look for these keywords. Oh, machine can do that. But what about getting a sense of what that sentence is? Thematic. These days, believe it or not, and I'm not even talking of artificial intelligence. This is from 4 years or 6 years ago. They can do that too. There's a program called Python, so some of you, it is in your interest to learn about the new technologies in content analysis and how to do content analysis using machines. A, it'll make your work very, very easy, okay? And B, more and more and more of that technology is available. Don't let it go. No, it's all there. You just have to go find that. He did find it. He did a very good study. And I didn't have much expertise in that. I told him that I don't know this part, And so what I do, anytime the statistics or methodology is beyond me, I tell the student to get a certain member on the committee. In US, we must have 5 members on the committee. 1 is external, 4 members. 1 is the supervisor, 3. So get 1 expert in that methodology area, because I tell him, I know statistics a lot, but I am not a statistics professor. I'm a journalism communication professor who happens to know statistics. So get somebody like Dr. Mahesh on the committee. So anytime we have a question about the statistics, we can always refer to him for advice. And so in Alauddin Muhammad's thing, we had people like that. Data collection instruments. I showed you the questionnaire of that obesity. You won't believe how long it took us. 6 to 8 months to get that questionnaire, So it is, I have another, expression that I have copyrighted. I'm joking, but you please feel free to use it. Let's say Melkote said this. Everything in the world cannot be microwaved. There are some things that need to be slow cooked. Same way, doing research cannot be microwaved. Writing up a questionnaire cannot be microwaved. Slow cooking. Okay? And so it takes a long time and a lot of looking around, and then come up with the questionnaires, come up with items for the scale, test them, constantly. And so that can always be a challenge. Please remember that in a quantitative study, your questionnaire is very important because that is the only place where you operationally define your variable. Your question in the questionnaire is an operationalization of what you want. And I said again and again in my methodology, you need an empirical referent in real life, which means I have to tell you what a mango is so that you can go and get a mango, or somebody will give you a mango. Similarly, every question in your questionnaire has to be so clear, so unambiguous, that it is the operational definition. That is, no 2 reasonable people will get confused. They will understand it. So a questionnaire, if your questionnaire is bad, your study is bad. As one of my old professors used to say, computer is a great machine. But if you feed it garbage, it is going to output garbage. It is not going to take garbage and make it into gold. So that is another issue. Finally, last one, mixed methods analysis. Okay. Recently, I worked, not recently, some time ago with this student, and you will see that in my Vita. He was looking at issues relating to pornography. You and I may say, oh, pornography. Oh, I don't want to watch. No, please wake up. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry in media and communication. Go to any five-star hotel, there'll be 3 channels being beamed to your room. So it is not something, it is there. And you and I as communicators, we have to do research. He was looking at relationship between exposure to pornography and deviant sexual behavior. Is pornography really causing deviant behavior? No, that was his study. Anyway, he is an extremely quantitative study. But he had one committee member, I don't know what he was thinking. He wanted her in the committee, and she agreed. And she goes, at the time of proposal, very good study, like it very much. But it's very quantitative. And I am a very qualitative person. And you're talking about pornography and all these numbers I don't understand. Talk to me about pornography. In other words, what she was saying was, we need qualitative analysis. Because what kind of pornography? What were they reading? What kind of stuff were they reading? You know, and he was stumped. And so he had to go back, and we made a compromise with her. Said, this is a quantitative study and we can't change it. Okay, she said, all right. What is your sample size? Sample size is like 300 or whatever. She said, do a case study with 10 people. Select any 10, but preferably select males and females, and 10 people do a qualitative study. So he came up with another questionnaire, which was no numbers, all qualitative, and he did deep interviews with 10 participants, and he attached that. She was happy. She said, okay, that's good enough for me. You go ahead and do your quant study, but we need this. And so in the appendix of his dissertation, if you can get it, which is available at Bowling Green State University, you will have about a 50-page description. Please be careful when you read that. It is, it'll shock you. What people think, what people imagine, you know, that will shock you. But then that is the real world. Okay, so that's mixed methods. These days, mixed methods is becoming more and more popular. And that is something you could think about, but it is, some people criticize it, that mixed methods is neither here nor there. Okay? Like they say in Hindi, dhobi ka gada na ghar ka na ghat ka. Okay? So mixed methods, because quantitative people swear by quantitative. Qualitative people swear by qualitative. If you do mixed methods, both of them will beat you. There's a problem. Okay. Also, you can become sloppy. You can become sloppy with one of them. But innovations are possible, and I would highly recommend that you go with the mixed method studies if you can and if it is necessary. I am going to stop here, but before that, I just want to give a shout out for 2 things. One is that this college is organizing an international conference on 20th and 21st of March next month. It's on 21st century emerging communication and AI, and all the boon and the bane of AI. Very good panelists, and Everything is being prepared. So if please look at the brochure, and would highly encourage all of you and to pass the word around to submit an abstract. Okay. The last one is, I've been talking about my book. If you're at all interested in reading the book that Leslie Steves and I have written, Communication for Development, Theory and Practice for Empowerment and Justice, third edition, came out in 2015. The good news is Leslie and I have made it free. You can download it for free. Okay. You need to go to www.scholarworks, SCHOLAR works, one word, .bgsu, B as in boy, G as in girl, SU.edu. And you can go to the site, and you can search by the title, Communication for Development, or you can search by authors, and my last name, Melkote. It's free of charge. It's the same book. You can download the whole book, or you can download whatever chapters you want. Okay. With that, we're going to put an end to this FDP. Thank you. Oh, my book, you need to go to 3Ws, www.scholarworks. Just spell out scholar works, WRKS, works, one word, .bgsu, Bowling Green State University, bgsu.edu. And then you'll get a screen. You can search by the title, Communication for Development, and it'll give you. Or you can search by authors and type my name, Melkote. Don't type Leslie Steves' name, because it is a Bowling Green State University site, and you have to be a faculty at that university to be on that. That's why you need my name, BG Melkote, and you'll get the book. And it is the entire book. And pass the word around if somebody else wants a copy of that. Thank you.
We are heading towards the valedictory ceremony.
Good afternoon to everyone. It is with great honor and joy that we welcome you all to the valedictory ceremony of the 6-day Faculty Development Program. Over the past days, we have engaged in enriching session, insightful discussion, and transformative learning experience. I request the dignitaries to take the seat on dais.
Sir, come to the center.
To set the stage for today's program with warmth and grace, let us now invite Mr. Ravi Raj, Assistant Professor of BWalk Media and Entertainment, to extend a heartfelt and cordial welcome to one and all.
Good afternoon to everyone. I welcome you all to the valedictory functions of 6-day Faculty Development Program. For the past 6 days, we have engaged in insightful discussions, enriching sessions, and meaningful exchanges, all of which have contributed immensely to our professional and personal growth. At the outset, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed dignitaries who have graced this occasion with their presence. We are honored to have with us Professor Srinivas Melkote, Professor Emeritus, Bowling Green University, USA, whose vast knowledge and expertise have been an inspiration throughout this program. We welcome you, sir. A heartfelt welcome to Reverend Dr. Lud Prasad Joseph, Rector, whose guidance and wisdom continue to enlighten us in our academic journey. We welcome you, Father. We also extend our warmest welcome to Reverend Father David Sagairaj, Assistant Rector, whose unwavering support has been instrumental in making this program a success. Welcome you, Father. I welcome Dr. Noor Mubashir, PG Coordinator. Welcome you. A special mention and warm welcome to all our faculty members, participants, and guests who have been an integral part of this journey. Your enthusiasm and active participation have truly made this program a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi Raj sir, for your warm words. This program would not have been a resounding success without the enthusiastic participation and unwavering dedication of our esteemed participants. Their insight, reflection, and shared experience have enriched this journey, making it truly meaningful. As we near the culminations of this faculty development program, let us now take a moment to hear from some of our participants as they share their valuable experiences and key takeaways from this journey. I request the participants to keep it short. With great enthusiasm, let's welcome Sachin PK, visiting faculty members from St. Joseph University from Bangalore, to share his experience.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected dignitaries on the stage and very special guests in the audience. I am a very new entrant to academics. As you can see, probably rather late in the day, as you can see from my countenance, and you may be right. I spent bulk of my 26 years of career in the industry for a major part in media and subsequently in corporate communications. And so as to pursue something I've been keeping all along as very active in the life as a passion for academics, I made a decision to transition to academics a couple of years ago. Very briefly, as you said, to keep it very short, I won't take much of your time. But let me say this much. When I had the privilege and honor, and I mean these words and use them with a degree of responsibility, to meet Professor Melkote for the first time in my life, I took the liberty to tell him that, sir, I've been your student many, many years ago without you ever knowing about it. And while it may sound like clever rhetoric, let me reassure you, it had an unmistakable sense of truism. When I did my master's in mass communications and journalism in the second half of 1990s, we had an exclusive and a whole comprehensive paper on development communications. And Professor Melkote's book in its first edition, if I recall, that has been the only definitive textbook. And let me tell you, that's the only book we ever refer to that subject. And then after several years, when I picked up my PhD work, it's in the area of, I'm just starting out, so nothing much to talk about, but my area happens to be again in broadly in the realm of development communications. And when I picked up his third edition, which he was mentioning about, I could sense with a great degree of appreciation and almost in a sense of disbelief as to how such a renowned scholar, Professor Melkote, has advanced the body of work, the body of scholarly knowledge around development communications, bringing in the tenets of social justice, empowerment, and representation, as well as blurring the boundaries, which have been, to my limited knowledge, forever assailing the distinction and the artificial demarcation between qualitative and quantitative research. And I meant every word of it. So when Father Richard who is my research guide at St. Joseph's University, guided me towards this program and encouraged me to participate in it, I was sure that I was signing up for something which is going to be an unparalleled experience. And here we are, and I'm very honored to say I have a great deep sense of gratitude. I want to say, and when I say this, I'm sure I'll be speaking for a lot of my fellow participants who I had never met because they were all online. But it has been every second, every minute, a truly enriching learning experience. So, sir, I will be short on words to express the deep sense of satisfaction as to how enriching the learning has been, how intense the process of broadening our understanding about the research process has been, and truly, truly grateful to you, sir. I know this goes, this takes a lot of vision and planning to organize a program of this nature with a pan-India coverage, even though many of them have joined only online. So my sincere gratitude as a participant to the honorable leadership of St. Philomena's College. Immensely grateful to you all for providing this opportunity. Again, immense gratitude to the faculty members of the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Dr. Venugopal, Dr. Vagdevi, many others who I have had the opportunity to interact with, but I may not be able to recall or to name all of you, but very, very special thanks to such a warm extension of friendship, camaraderie, and the highest degree of professionalism, which made this program and these 6 days of stay here truly worthwhile. And lastly, I'll be absolutely running short of words if I don't comment on the incredible bunch of students you have got here. They were everywhere. They were doing everything possible, everything conceivable at the right time, without making any fuss about anything, to make sure that we had such a wonderful experience. And I'm sure they will go a long way because of their meticulous organizational skills and their superlative attitude towards everything that's academic and around it. Thank you so much, each one of you. And thank you thank you to all the fellow participants online and offline. I've been able to make good friendships, which I'm sure I'll be going to cherish for a long time to come. Thank you so very much, everybody.
Thank you, sir. I now request Anjani Rai from Nite deemed to be university to share an experience. Please unmute your mic.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Anjali Rai from NITTE deemed to be University, Mangalore. It's an honor to share my experience and appreciation for this insightful faculty development program on research. I am in the second year, and I am at a crucial juncture where I'm preparing my questionnaire for survey. Listening to Dr. Melkote has provided me with a clearer understanding of how to structure my research approach. Sir's practical examples and detailed explanation for me particularly on content analysis was extremely helpful. And I can apply these learnings to enhance my research. I'm grateful for this opportunity to learn from such an experienced scholar. I extend my gratitude to the organizers for organizing this FDP so meticulously, which can truly be a milestone in my research journey and definitely will be the same for the many other researchers. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you so much, Dr. Melkote, sir, for this insightful FDP on research. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Dr. Anantya Deb, Assistant Professor, Department of Mass Communication and Media, Central University of South Bihar, Gaya, to share his experience.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Respected dignitaries and my dear students and my colleagues. I am a little overwhelmed, privileged to have been here. I have taken the decision to come here when I just saw the name in the brochure, Professor Melkote is coming here. This focal point of attraction to join here as a student, it is Professor Melkote. I have come here with a lot of abstractions that has been conceptualized and then operationalized. I was come with lot of cloud. Professor Melkote has cleared all those clouds just like a sun. I have grown up reading his books, all the 3 publications, sole author, then 2 author, and the last one where he talked about the empowerment. Not only empowerment, social justice is required. So I think with this FTP, my justice has actually been occurred. Nevertheless, I now proudly say after this FDP that I become a proud student of Professor Melkote. And I will tell this particular, proudly proclaim to my student that I become the student of Professor Melkote. I did not know the content was little broad, but the way he started the epistemological foundation of research, starting from positivist paradigm to critical paradigm, and now today he ended up with pragmatism, that is the blend of both quantitative and qualitative approach, which is really enlightening for me. The reliability aspect, what I learned from this particular FDP, especially the split hub technique, internal consistency, and the Cronbach alpha. I think my Cronbach alpha is more than 0.9. In fact, the intercoder reliability, which is ranges from 0 to 1. 1 stands for highly reliable. It qualifies both face validity, content validity, criteria validity. My reliability and validity both are on higher side, it is 1. So with these words, I must thank you to all my colleagues. I talked to Bagdevi ma'am first call, and I took the decision that I have to go. And I also thankful to Venugopal, who helped me a lot to issue the books from library. I xeroxed it, kept it in my bag. I know I will be enlightened. And the one of the most energetic musician come student, Mr. Prajwal and others, I must thank you. So with these words, I conclude here. I hope my phone calls will be received by Melkote sir. Hereafter, I know I will be grateful in the rest of my life with his guidance. Thank you, sir. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor Shirish Kashikar, Director, National Institute of Mass Communications and Journalism, Ahmedabad.
Namaskaram, Melkote sir, Reverend Dr. L.P. Joseph, and all fellow professors, research scholars who have been participating in this wonderful academic endeavor of St. Philomena College, Mysuru. It's personally an enriching experience for me because I am more engaged in qualitative method of research. When I saw the brochure of this FDP, I found Dr. Melkote's name in it, and I immediately decided to join it because in his case, we can say, sirf naam hi kafi hai. And this successful FDP proved it. Hopefully, all other must have got the same feeling of an enriched soul. I congratulate the organizers for arranging such fruitful, enriching FDP and expect such more academic endeavors in future. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
His impression with us.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's been 5 years since I retired, and it's a long time. And this was a golden opportunity for me to come back and be in the midst of learners. And I didn't expect it to be like this. I actually, to give you a little bit of a brief thing, I wanted to apply for a Fulbright fellowship and, come for a semester. But when I noticed all the bureaucracy that is involved with the Fulbright, I said, forget Fulbright. Why I don't need, I can go to Mysore. I can stay on my own. And I found this institution. I visited this institution last year, and I found this institution to be very amenable to what I want to do. And so I came here and I taught a refresher class for a week for master students in methodology. And this FDP was a pleasant surprise. And I'm telling you, you really challenged me because I don't have any books here. I don't have anything to refer to. And so it was a real challenge. And I enjoyed it, and I hope I met the challenge. So anyways, thank you very much to the organizers, the college, the department for this. And it looks like the FDP program has attracted participants from all over India, which is very gratifying to hear. And I hope that you got something useful in these last few days. And also remember this college and the organizers and continue to support academic activities. And the very first one being the international conference at the towards the end of next month. Give it serious consideration. Okay. And thank you so much for being such a good audience, and and that it really helps. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. To encapsulate the essence of this faculty development program, I invite Mr. Ravi Tej, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, to take the stage and present a brief report.
Good afternoon to you all. As we gather here today to conclude this enriching 6-day journey of learning, I take great pleasure in presenting the final report of the National Level Faculty Development Program on social science research methods, exploring theories, practices, and applications in contemporary studies. This FDP was designed to provide a comprehensive and hands-on understanding of social science research methodologies with a special focus on theoretical frameworks, quantitative techniques, ethical considerations, and data analysis using SPSS. We are happy to share that we had 83 participants from across India representing faculty members, research scholars, and industry professionals. Participants joined us from 16 different states and union territories, including Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Odisha, Bihar, Puducherry, West Bengal, and many more, adding a rich diversity to our sessions. The blend of virtual and in-person participation ensured that knowledge was shared beyond geographical boundaries, making the FDP truly inclusive. Each day brought with it a new dimension of learning, carefully structured to cover various aspects of research. We began FDP with a deep dive into the epistemological foundation of positivistic research and its influence on disciplines like sociology, psychology, and communication studies. We explored the historical evolution of research methods and how social sciences branched out from philosophy. The second day introduced quantitative research techniques, emphasizing positivistic assumptions and the importance of reliability and validity in research. On the third day, we examined the application of reliability and validity measures, comparing quantitative research with methods used in natural and physical sciences, providing a well-rounded perspective. On day 4, we critically analyzed ethical dilemmas in research, addressed concerns related to data collection and reporting. A highly practical session was conducted by Professor Mahesh sir on 5th day, where participants were introduced to structured questionnaire design, learned how to create code books, and got a first-hand experience with SPSS for data entry and analysis. On the final day, that is today, we explored data entry and cleaning techniques using SPSS, performed basic statistical operations, and understood the practical application of data analysis in research. As we conclude this FTP, let us take forward the knowledge, insights, and skills we have gained over the past 6 days and apply them in our respective academic and research pursuits. With that, I thank you all once again for your active participation and for making this FTP a resounding success. We look forward to welcoming you again in international conference that is going to be held in the month of March. Thank you and best wishes.
Thank you, Ravi Tej sir, for summarizing the key moments of this program. We are honored to hear from our rector, Dr. Lurtu Prasad, whose guidance and support have been instrumental in making this program a success. I now invite Father to share his remarks.
Honorable dignitaries on the dais, members of the teaching fraternity, and my dear students, good afternoon to all of you. For me, it is indeed a matter of joy to stand before you and give concluding remarks for this valedictory function. I think the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in our college has taken a lot of trouble to organize this FDP program on a very relevant topic. I would like to congratulate them, thank them, so that they will continue to do many more such conferences in the days to come. And already they have planned for an international seminar that is going to happen in the month of March. I would like to thank all the students who are actively involved in all these activities. I also take this occasion to thank sincerely Professor Melkote, the cynosure of all the eyes during this particular conference. the way we receive feedback from the participants is really very, very gratifying. I would like to thank the professor who spends his time very fruitfully in our college. Nobody will say he's retired. Sometimes we say they are retired, but we retire them. I don't think we are retiring. Rather, we are benefiting from his immense experience, expertise, and knowledge. Thank you, sir. You've made us proud. Thank you. Have a nice day. God bless you all.
Thank you, Father. Now comes an exciting moment, the certificate distribution for our offline participant. I request Professor Srinivas Melkote to kindly present the certificates. Dr. Anantia Deb, Mr. Sachin PK, Dr. Yamuna B, Miss Alisha Pathak, thank you, sir. Congratulations to all the participants. Your dedications and commitment to learning are truly commendable. As we come to the conclusion of this program, it is time to express our gratitude. To deliver the word of thanks, I now invite Mr. Sanju, Assistant Professor of PG Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, to the stage.
It's an immense pleasure to give out of thanks to everyone. Professor Srinivas Melkote sir, being with you for a whole, like, especially in FDP, because you were going to be there with us for a conference also. It was a great pleasure to each and everyone, even for students, even for lecturers and everyone. So we got so many guidance from you, and we are expecting more from you. So heartfelt thank you for you, sir. And Reverend Dr. Ludu Prakash Joseph, our beloved rector, your support has been very positive towards our department, whatever the work we are doing, and you are keep on supporting us to do FDP programs, international conference, and you are always supporting our department. We keep on expecting your support as like this, and our heartfelt thank you for you, sir. And Reverend Father Gnana Prakash, Pragasam sir is not here. In his absence, I heartfelt I thank you for his support to our department and this program. Reverend Father David Sagaraju, our assistant to rectors, you have been cooperating towards department in each and every step. So I heartfelt thank you, sir. Our beloved principal, he is not here, but his support has been there for every work, whatever we do, and he always gives us a suggestion. You do like this, you follow these steps. So in his guidance, we have done a good FDP, I think, and we are expecting his support as like this for our international conference also. So I heartfully thank you, sir. And Dr. Noor Mubashir ma'am, our PG coordinator. She has been supporting us from the beginning, and we expect her support for all our work we do, and we are been expecting her support for our 2 days international conference which we are doing. And like, we thank you heartfully, ma'am, for all the support. And our beloved HOD, Dr. Venugopal sir, he is the backbone of all the programs we conduct. He works more than students. He works more than any other person, whatever it might be, a small work or the big work. He keeps on the checklist. He keep on like making sure that work has been done or not. So he works tirelessly. Even in midnight, 12:30, he like sends a message in the group, whether check this is it's right or wrong. He checks each and every spelling. Like that perfection he tries to bring into our department. So his the guidance and his way we like to follow, sir. We heartfully thank you, sir. And our senior faculty member, Dr. Wagdev ma'am, she's not here, like she went outside. But her guidance is also, she guided us, all the students, faculty members, each and everything. Like, this is the steps you need to follow. If you follow like this will be the outcome. Each and everything in the meetings, she keeps on like repeating the things, and she keeps on correcting us towards the right path. We are heartfully thank you for you, ma'am. Wagdev, yeah. And our fellow Yamuna ma'am and Raviraj sir, Ravitej sir, all our department people, and especially our department students, they are so energetic and they keep on supporting us. Even right now, they have exam holidays. Like after finishing exam, they needed to be there in their home, but they stayed here with us and they keep on supporting us. Many people are from Kerala, from like North Karnataka. They didn't visit their homes from many months, but still they stayed with us to conduct this FDP, and I heartfully thank you, all our beloved students. Yeah. Last but not least, all our offline participants who came from all the other parts of India and from the Bangalore, wherever you all have came from, we are heartfully thank you for all your participants. And online participants, I heartfully thank you, everyone, because you joined through online and always sitting, like being there for exact 9:30 and joining the meeting and attending it whole session for 2 hours, like staying in a room or wherever you might be. You will be in your another kind of atmosphere, still without getting distracted, staying for whole 6 days. It's a very greatest achievement from your side. So I heartfully thank each and everyone to you. And like anyhow, I feel that whoever all participated in this FDP, we are looking forward to meet you offline for our international conference, which we are going to conduct in March 21st and 22nd. So thank you to each and everyone, and I'm looking forward to meet everyone offline in our St. Philomena's College, Mysore. Thank you one and all.
With that, we officially conclude the valedictory ceremony of our faculty development program. The certificates for online participants will be sent upon filling a feedback form. So kindly fill the feedback form, which is already shared on the screen. We at Department of Journalism and Mass Communication are proud to announce international conference to be held on March 21st and 22nd at St. Philomena's College. The conference has a galaxy of speakers. We warmly welcome each one to participate in this program. Thank you all for being a part of this journey. Wishing you continued success and growth. Have a wonderful day ahead.